baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here. 'Cause we been
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here.
Black versus the Board of Education.
'Cause we came here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here. 'Cause we came here, rid of us now. And you know that we won't ever go.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Black versus the Board of Education.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Miss Laureen, and you guys have the pleasure of being a fly on my wall today as we get into part 2 of our Equity on Mute. Now, while we're waiting for our sisters from SES, y'all, it's December 1st. You know what the first of the month is, right?
It's the first of the month. Wake up. Checks it, come on.
I mean, but did y'all pay your bills? That's what I want to know. Did you pay your bills?
Hell
Everybody's
no.
bills paid?
No? Nope. We finna get evicted. Telling you right now. I'll be sleeping right there.
I was hoping that's what Thanksgiving was about.
You was hoping that Thanksgiving was about
somebody's
what?
gonna come pay my bill.
Knock it off. That's Christmas. That's when the presents come.
Oh, we gotta wait till the end. What if I got nowhere to wait till? I ain't got nowhere to wait from.
I'm just
Y'all
saying.
bad.
So while we're waiting and while you're getting ready, I don't know if y'all know, but Mr. Chastain, Mr. Fox, and Mr. James are in the building already. And as I said, we are waiting for our sisters from SES. But go ahead and pull up Melissa, because I know Melissa is here too. And while we're waiting for Melissa, I want to know how was your Thanksgiving break? Let's start with the lady. How was your break, Melissa? Tell us something good. What happened?
It was very chill.
Okay.
Me, my mom, my sister, saw my dad.
I see the hair. Come on.
Thank you. It was very chill, very laid back. And I needed the break from school. Yeah.
Okay. Were they stressing you out?
School?
Yeah.
Always.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got to do something about that. What's up, fellas? Tell me, how was your break? Let's start with Mr. Chastain, because you're looking at me and you look like you want to say something important. So what's going on with your break?
Well, the break was heavy. There was a lot of stuff going on. I said I ate and chilled, but I actually lost one of my puppies.
Oh.
Yeah, on Thanksgiving. That's what was crazy.
No.
I knew she was going to deliver too. She started delivering just.
Wait, the puppy had babies?
My girl got, I don't know how she just snuck and got pregnant, did her little,
snuck.
she snuck, she did, because I had them separated. I had her and my boy separated, and she still got touched.
Okay.
Had a baby, did her thing. Baby is resting. It didn't make it, but it was bittersweet. Okay. I lost the baby, but I still got my.
How many did she have? One. I told you he snuck. It was a real quickie. He had a quickie. Oh, good Lord.
It was I was done. So bittersweet. She's still here. She passed it naturally, which was amazing for French bulldogs. That was amazing. So I was thankful for that she's still here. It didn't take her.
All right. Well, I'm sorry about the loss of the puppy, but I'm glad that she's still here. Mr. James, what happened with you?
I ate everything from chicken. We got hot dogs, hamburgers.
Hot dogs on Thanksgiving?
Yeah. We did it differently.
What kind of? Okay.
Hot dogs, hamburgers, dressing, greens. We grilled. That's what we did. We didn't do the turkey. We did something traditional, and we ate good. Very good.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. That's the first I've ever heard hot dogs on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Mr. Fox, what you been up to? It's a podcast, baby.
I'm trying to define what it is, but I continue to say the same thing. I'll just be making amends out here and just being of service to my people. Modeling the behavior that I stand for and the behavior that I try to teach my boys in my group. I really believe in bromanship. There's a lack of bromanship out here. I hear a lot of dudes calling each other B words. Say that's my B. They say that's
Not a
that's,
chance.
dude?
yeah. I hear dudes saying that. I hear dudes saying that's my B, or I hear dudes saying that's my nigga, and I hear a lot of dudes saying that's my bro, and they say stuff like bros over. It's a lot of weird stuff I've heard since I've been released. But on my bromanship, when you say what have you been doing out here, Mr. Fox, throughout the Thanksgiving under my bromanship, I do not believe in that I can eat a plate of food if my bro can't eat too.
Okay.
If my people ain't eating, how I'm gonna eat, you know? So going back out there to the community and with that thought in mind, saying if people can't eat, I can't eat. I ran across so many childhood friends out there in homelessness, you know, and to be able to feed people who once fed me, or people who once took a liking. When
you say you ran into them, what were you doing? How did you run into people that you knew from?
Was jumping out my car feeding people. I mean, when you feed the real homeless, and I don't want to say the real homeless like other people not homeless, but there's homeless, and then there's another homeless community. Some homeless be out there on the side of the freeways, or they be in the front of the stores. They ask you for $1, and then there's another level of homelessness they've been kicked out of their house. They was born homeless. They've been kicked out of their house since they was 13, 14. They've been back and forth to jail. They got a drug problem. They got a mental problem. And they're not gonna ask you for $1. They think they just really want you to leave them alone. You think they messing with you? They don't. They want you to leave them alone. I went out there to feed them people, and amongst them people, I found my brothers. I found people I knew, and that made me feel good to talk to them, because I was able to give them my number and say, hey, you call me. I gave them the coat off my back. Here, bro, it's a brand new coat. Here, you know, I found a beacon out there. I found a beacon amongst my own community that been with me for a minute, and it was helping me find homeless people. And I was telling them I'm gonna come back, and they didn't believe me. And I came back, and they treated me like I was Jesus, but I'm just a man. I'm just a man with a couple pieces of bread that's wanting to share with my brother. And I didn't feel like it was righteous for me to eat turkey when people been telling me stuff like, oh man, I'm praying for you. Oh man, I'm proud of you. Or I got you. Or oh man, what you do out here? I seen a person that was so hard on out there that fed me at one point in my life. I met this brother when I was a beacon led me to this brother, a special beacon. And I met this brother when I was about 20 years old in prison, man. And I was at the highest level of my violence, in the most ignorant state of mind that I can be. And I was standing on my ignorance with strength, like I knew it all. And the police was making an example out of me. They would leave me locked in my cell for months. They would tell other brothers, if you do what he do, we'll keep you locked up. And if you mess with him, you ain't gonna go home. And people in prison had like 2 months left and 3 months left. So they knew I would never see them. So they would walk by my door and not mess with me. But what they didn't know to do, they was walking by and say, I couldn't read. I couldn't eat. I was eating mustard packs up in there. I was hungry. And his brother, he didn't care about nobody being a blood or crip or none of that. He said, man, you black and I ain't finna leave you behind like that. My biggest hero in my life is Harriet Tubman. I believe in the Harriet Tubman theory, and I embody it every day, right? So this brother fed a brother not knowing how strong I would be. I was a full-fledged blood, and that's all I knew, and that's all I was going to feed, and that's all I was going to die for, and that's all I was. And I wasn't getting out of prison. I didn't think I was getting out of prison. I had no dream of getting out of prison. I didn't have a thought of getting out of prison, and didn't know anything other than I'm going to fuck something up.
In prison.
Every motherfucking day.
Hey.
Excuse my language. But that's how passionate it was. When I seen that brother, he seen me get out of my car, and the first thing he said is, I know exactly who you are, brother. I'm proud of you.
Wow.
You ain't seen me in over 20 years. I filmed it. So when I went to be able to feed that brother, and I seen him, and he's about 200 pounds lighter than what he was. You ever heard of 20-inch arms on a hang? This brother had 30 inches on a hang. And he came to protect me as a child. And make sure that people didn't do nothing. And this is how I spend my holidays. And when I thought about it, I came back into the community and fed a brother who once was feeding others, and he needed me there now. And I was strong enough to be able to carry that brother, and I was conscious enough to be able to give him what he hungered in his soul. The same thing I hungered in that cell. He taught me how to read, and I know how to read, and I came back and gave him the courage and the words that I read in the books that he put up under my door, and I gave him the same strength back. And he said, "Oh man, that's what I needed."
Wow.
To be able to feed, it can go on and on. But for my holidays, when I say I'm with the people, I embody that, man. I march like that, I push like that, and I welcome many who are with the Harriet Tubman theory and who are going to push strongly. Let me make this very apparent what I said, and I'll stand on that word. Who are going to push strongly. Strongly means I can call you at 8 o'clock at night and tell you it's a problem out here. Sometimes it's a problem at 1 a.m. Sometimes I need to call on you and say, hey, since I seen you, I can look across the table and look a woman in the eyes, and I respect you as a woman, saying, you know what? I seen you on the field. That's what I mean by I say I want to connect strongly and push with you and push with you and push with you and push.
That's what's up.
Because y'all strongly on the field, not just saying, hey, me too. Y'all got another play over there to feed? I'm tired of feeding weaklings, man. So for Thanksgiving, I fed a strong community because I need strong people to be beside me. And with that, I'll move it on. And thank you to my beacons.
That's what's
My
up.
beacon.
And we give you extra time because we honor that journey. It's not easy to get out of a place that they had basically set you all up to die in. And to get out and want to help others. That's something that I love about you, and I will continue to love about you, because it's easy to focus on self, but it's not that easy to focus on other people who need what you needed when you were down. And with that, my sister has joined the conversation. Hey girl, hey. I'm so glad you're here. Where's Coco?
She'll be here in a second.
Oh, Coco. Well, while we're waiting for Coco, why don't you tell us what you've been up to since our last conversation? We had a Thanksgiving break. Tell us what you did for your break.
For my break, I'm boycotting all holidays.
I know that's right.
From now on, like
I'm with you.
Put your hands down.
I'm so tired of capitalism.
Yep.
And the way that we, take time to rest is actually doing more work. And the way that we go in debt for holidays.
Oh, sure.
I just think there's so much more things that are worthy of our time.
Facts.
Than I appreciate Turkey Day and Black Family Day, but I know that this holiday is rooted in genocide. I've always had a problem with it since I've come into my consciousness. But I want to spend time with family. I want to, honor that time together. But I'm over capitalism and the ways that we go broke to play into these holidays that have no real effect and no movement for the Black community. It does not make sense for us to keep doing this. And I'm not trying to take away from the elders and traditions that we've created in families, but I did get to spend some time with family, and I told them all the same thing. I said, I'm not doing this no more. Like,
yeah.
It's too much work. It's too much. I see my 18.
Miss Tawana said, "Amen," and speak the truth. And Josiah's in the chat. Hey,
just so tired of prep shopping, putting up, prepping, cooking, standing on your feet all day to eat for 15 minutes. Like, I know there is something. I'm sorry.
Look at Melissa said, "Wow." Well, you know what? I had a great time cooking.
You did?
I did.
Give thanks.
I had a great time cooking. This is one of the first times that I've probably prepared the whole meal myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we gave it away to the homeless.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
I got two questions, and it's equally to either one of y'all. One for you. Did you have fun because you was cooking, or did you have fun because who you was cooking for? And for you, this is one of the questions. This is something that a youth told me when I was out serving the homeless people the other night. He said, "Man, it's good. I don't like Thanksgiving," but he said everything you said. But he said the one thing that he likes about Thanksgiving that we don't see no more. He said, "Man, we need Thanksgiving so that the youth can see us loving on our elders. That's the reason why they not loving on our elders." Right. He said what he loved about what I was doing the most out there, what I embodied the most for his eyesight was, I don't see no youth coming out here to love on the OGs. Wow. How do we know how to love them or respect them?
Right.
If the ones that are right under them, the OGs that are under the OGs, I'm the pre-OG, but if they don't see us loving them, how they to know to do it for them?
No, absolutely. And I agree with what that young person said. The only reason I've participated in these holidays is to celebrate the elders in my family and honor their traditions. And, Black folks have these ties to these holidays: Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Christmas. I can probably name a whole bunch. Just like we have this strong tie to the Democratic Party. It does not get us anywhere.
Look at how I turned into an owl.
Some Black folks. I was all Black folks. And I had this love and hate relationship with these holidays. I love them for the aspect of family and honoring elders. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I did really celebrate, was to be with my grandparents and be with my aunties.
Yeah. I don't have any grandparents left, so I don't have that tie, right? And to answer your question, I liked cooking because I love cooking, and that's kind of like a release for myself. It's a way to calm myself down. However, being able to watch people enjoy the food that I cook is where I find my smile. Yeah. So I think that it was kind of twofold. It was a release for me, and it was a joy to watch others smile and be thankful for something that I was able to do. And so that's always great, because you all know that working in nonprofits it's a thankless job.
It is.
Serving people can sometimes be a thankless job.
Right.
And so if I waited all the time to see smiles, I probably wouldn't continue to be here, because I think we get a lot more doors slammed in our face than we would like to admit. And so when we're talking about whether it be the holidays, I've never been one for Christmas. I believe in service projects, and that's been something that I instilled in my household. I don't do gifts for Christmas, because I feel like I give gifts all year round.
Right.
So that's nothing that I've ever been focused on. I'm always about giving to people, and I want to shout out, while I'm thinking about it, shout out to the team and the volunteers who actually showed up for the turkey drive that we had here.
Oh yeah.
We were able to serve over 100 families, and our parent group and some other mothers from the community actually donated other food, to where not only did they get the turkeys provided by Elk Grove PD, they each got a bag full of things to put sides to put with that turkey. So they had mac and cheese, they had yams, they had
potatoes,
pudding, they had cakes. And frosting, and they had all these things,
yams,
because of the work of community. And so I just want to shout out to people that volunteered with us, that hung out, from the students from Sac State to the mamas in the community, the uncles and aunties from the community, as well as Elk Grove Police Department, because Chief is the man, and he makes sure he gets his team out here, Sergeant Jason Jimenez, and the ladies that come out to document what's going on that day, the ones that kind of steer the traffic, and the explorers, the young people that come out to help with those efforts. And so we are grateful for the community response, and we look forward to serving them for the Christmas holiday. Whether we celebrate it or not, that has no bearing on what we are able to do for community, because what we know that sometimes not only does this holiday season bring out the holiday blues, it also produces joy for some people. And people cling to the joy of the thought of what they believe Christmas is. And who are we to go against it?
Right.
But with that said, y'all, we got to get to talking, because last time we ran out of time. We were talking about equity on mute, and I would be remiss if I did not bring up what happened in Stockton this past weekend. Shout out to those families who lost loved ones. We send our deepest condolences. But I wanted to pose a question. So we're talking about equity, and we're talking about how our students aren't served. We hear it. Black and brown communities are facing disproportionate discipline. They're facing disproportionate access or no access to honors and AP classes. Their needs are not being met. But then we have things happening in community off school hours, right? Where we are challenged not only to admit that something is going awry in our communities, but how do we service that while still understanding that it wasn't just those who were victims of gun violence who are going to be affected by what happened. It's going to be everybody that was within 100-mile radius, really.
Absolutely.
But those closest to that are going to be affected, and those babies are going to go to school, and people are going to expect them to be normal. And to walk around like nothing happened.
Right.
So as practitioners or as people in community, right, how do we service people who are hurting while still calling attention to the inadequacies in our education system that would further victimize them within the classroom? And I know that is a loaded question. I'm going to throw it to you first because you smiling at me, and I feel like right after you, I'm going to go to Melissa, and then we're going to let the fellas tackle it.
Okay.
So talk to me, sis.
Sis, the question is so loaded, but it's so many pieces, right?
Right.
It can't be business as normal at schools today. For
It
none
cannot.
of the young people in Stockton, for none of the young people in Sacramento, for none of the young people who have been impacted by that, right?
Right.
Sacramento has seen something recent, something similar in recent years, and we know we had to pivot, because our children, our community was hurting. And that is the problem with inequity in schools, is that when something tragic like that happens in the community, we can't be learning about Julius Caesar on Monday,
nobody cares,
right? Because I'm not tapped into that. I'm thinking about what's happening in my community, how folks are going to get buried, who's hurting. You know what I mean? There's so many layers. And so what we have to understand is that our young people are living with present traumatic stress.
Right.
And that stems from a whole lot of things, but primarily violence in our communities.
Right.
And we know that in order to get through present traumatic stress, you have to work on a healing journey, right? And so, your question, sis. I pray that there were culturally relevant grief counselors at schools today that those young people are going to. I know that in the past, when things like that have happened in our community, we had to show up.
Right.
As the culturally relevant grief counselors, right? And we had to stand in for young people who were being expected to present as business as normal when that nothing's normal about what's happening in our communities.
That's
There's
right.
nothing normal about a birthday party getting shot up.
Nothing.
And multiple people being shot and multiple people being killed. Nothing is normal about that. So then we cannot act like it's business as normal on Monday morning when young people are going back to school. I think that this is where community steps in.
Right.
This is where we have to take cultural responsiveness as a needed aspect in schools, because how will our children survive? You don't ask me to do 2 + 2 when I just seen my community, in the midst of something so traumatic, right? This is made national, world news.
Right.
Like I'm on Facebook groups in the Caribbean. They're talking about this. So it's just, and they're like, I hope it's not Black people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what.
But why is that the first thing that we think, though? Right.
Right.
Like, it's the first thing we're associated with this type of behavior.
Absolutely. And so it's just, the layers of systemic racism, oppression, a disconnect. The layers of grief and the layers of trauma that our young people are dealing with. I'm going to try to step back because I know Melissa has something to say, but I can talk about this for a long time. Because,
good. Join us next week.
Yeah,
because we're going to be tackling the drama.
Part 3.
We just going to let's do however many parts we need to, right?
Right, because it's so layered, and we will run out of time today too. I already know.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So Melissa, talk to us. Like, what?
I agree. There's so many layers, and there's not one answer to the question, and there's not even one. There's not one answer to the question, and there's not one way to handle one situation, because every student walks into school every single day with something on their shoulders.
Right.
They walk into a space that clearly does not care about them, holding on to something, and they go into environments where people in authority make it very clear that they don't care about what happens outside of school until it starts to affect your work. And then even then, when it starts to affect your work, they still care about the root cause. They care about you not acting how they believe that you should act in a classroom. So I don't know if there's definitely not one way to answer that question, but something that Ms. Patrice brought up is having like counseling or therapists. And that's something I heavily believe in therapy, but not just, oh, this is a therapist that we brought in from the school. No, it needs to be someone that you as a student can relate to. And do schools really care about that? Of course not, because if they did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't have to worry about how students go into the school and who they have to talk to. So I think it's about creating safe spaces within schools and safe spaces also outside of schools as well, because even trying to bring safe spaces into schools, we've already seen are taken away and deconstructed by people who say that you should be able to have them, but very clearly make it very clear that they don't want you to have those as well. So I think it's a lot about community and coming together in more than one space and making sure that the community that we have cannot be broken apart, that is stable enough to have students be able to go into. I think community is at the basis of everything that we always talk about.
Oh my God, man.
What?
You guys are monsters in what y'all talking about. Can you re-ask your question?
I don't remember it. I think I said, anybody, what did I say? I said, how do we expect them to go into schools and it be business as usual when what happened outside of school was so traumatic? Basically, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the layered question.
And how that ties into equity.
Yes.
Equity. Now, going back to what you were saying, and what Melissa just said, and what you said, and tying it together for me, I'm starting to see the need for us to redefine again what is community. Because guess what I found out when I came out here? I thought I came out here for community, and I don't belong to the community. Because I came out here and I thought we was all black and we was all one. After 27 years, that's just what it was been preached to me. I've been told, hey, get out there, we're gonna be out there, get out there, we for the community. And the first person that ran me into a wall was somebody black first day out. Bam, crashed me. What's up, brother? What's that about? And then I kind of found out there's an African community, and then there's this community, and then there's the community from the hood that I'm too bougie, even though I came here, I don't want you to know from there. And then we have the traumatized community, and now we're talking about what you said, culturally relevant stuff. Guess what culturally relevant means? In order to be culturally relevant, you have to move on with the times.
Right here, right now.
Right. Meaning where we all thought that we liked chicken, that was culturally relevant. That was cultural. Well, now culturally,
Melissa said we still do.
Right, but now culturally relevant. Now we know culturally relevant. Everybody don't like chicken. So our kids know certain things now too. And so now you saying it can't be this and it can't be that. But it's not us that set the system. When you saying counselors in the school grounds, I just been kicked off the school grounds at the end of this year alone. You know why I was kicked off the school grounds? Because I have a record. The record I had stemmed when I was 14 years old. But I was the kid's help. Not as me patting myself on the back. I'm telling you what the community told me. The community said, man, we need you. You here, you got this. You pop it, man. And I brought other community members there as well, such as yourself, such as Chastains, such as you. But they kicked the ones that are the most best. Because I was culturally relevant. Absolutely. Up out of the kid's hand, because I could tell them what them gunshots was really about. Exactly. I could tell them what we should really do about that, and tell them, hey, let's not focus on that, little bro. Let's remember, you're right. It's hard for 2 + 2 today, but how you feel?
Why would I give you space to come and work with these young people better than I can?
Correct.
And I got all the book smarts. What?
I got these degrees. I got these credentials, and I still can't reach them
because
I drive into the community and I drive out. But you come in here and you can relate to them from day one, from minute one.
Absolutely.
Minute one.
From minute one.
But you know why? Because it's the trauma. We have 2 different griefs. My trauma is what connected. Before I got in the room, I already knew some sisters in there watching my, like, bro, the sisters, I can tell by the way they looking at the sisters that they want us with the beanies that put up right. I know what I'm looking at. Tell the sisters, and I'm coming in the room with that, right? And this is what I'm coming to teach these boys. But as you said, if y'all really wanted our community to be better, you keep us in the room.
You would make sure that you're there every day.
They're not going to do that,
especially on a day like today, right?
You already named what happened with it. This stuff is systemic. Yeah. So and for me, this is Fox's answer. Part of the things that I would like to see what the solution is. Let's redefine this community. What is the Black community? What are we really? Because if you ask the actual Black people themselves, when I'm out there, they'll say, well, what do you mean? Are you asking me, am I gay? That's not what I'm asking you. Okay, well, what you mean where I'm from? Some Blacks ain't getting along just based off where they from, right? Straight. But again, I also believe this part. Am I, as a Black man that's 43 years old, do I really blame the white man for that? No, I don't. As a Black man, I have to stand up and be accountable and say, hey, bro, me and you was a part of that. We have fought. Hey, little bro, that's not how you do it. This is what it is, and this is what it means to be Black. This is how I pull my pants up. This is how I reflect. And to bring in the equity part. This is where we left off with last time. And where we left off with off camera is part of the solution that we starting to feel is some people got to get out the way. Because to allow the new community to be a part of the solution, we must also remember what's in the community. The people that was outcasted, we're coming back, and we got some knowledge, and some of us like to say, "Hey, sister, let me tell you, Junior, back, you need to get socked in the chest because that is the actual solution to the problem." And by not letting me sock Junior in the chest, guess what happened? He shot up this school over here. He didn't shot up this thing, and you're saying, "Oh no, but it's happened because you ain't in the home." Okay, that happened, and I apologize, but I'm back now. Yeah. We're here. Where is the forgiveness in our community for the brothers that are coming back for what we left behind? How much do I have to say I'm sorry before the sisters let us back in and say, hey, I don't want to have to look you in your eye and say I wasn't the one that beat you, I didn't rape you, I didn't take your babies, but we are here. Yeah. Right. And but how much more apologizing do we have to do when we are here in our community to say, hey, sister, I want to help too. And when are we going to admit that? Hey, just allowing me to just look at him is not enough. This is a full-fledged brother with a gun in his pocket. This is a full-fledged brother that know how to sell dope. This is a full-fledged brother that don't know nothing about Thanksgiving. Not just because his father didn't teach him, his mama didn't teach him either. Right. We both equally a part of this problem. Yeah, we equally a part of this problem. You smoke weed, you drink. Let's not argue about it. Let's get this together. Let's admit our wrongs. Let's come together and let's define this community of what it should be. And within defining the community, what do we as Black people always do when we define a community? We look for a leader, but leaders, people who model the behavior. Let's get some people to model the behavior that we want as we are rebuilding our community. But we all must also always remember this, something that you two always preach and something that you preach. The devil ain't never not going to be in the room. Counter pro intel going to always be a part. So what do we do as we build this new community to make sure that we look at counter pro intel and say, I see you, pimp, but you ain't bothering me. There's a couple brothers that's willing to get locked up while we building the community too. To get relocked back up to say, hey, bro, that's how much that we believe in our community, though. Do you believe in us enough to say that we're back here and we're doing the correct thing now? Now, re-give me your babies and your sons now. I know the brothers messed up, but some of us are actually here. There goes your equity.
Yeah. Fellas, feel free to jump in.
I like where this is going. I really do.
Let's talk about it.
And there's a thing that I just picked up with the normalization, right?
Okay.
The violence has been normalized. It's been normalized. It was normalized for us. It was a badge of honor to step into a realm of violence, right? Even carried on in prison. It was carried on through my 29 years, his 27, or until we started awakening, until we started becoming conscious of us as a community, as us as a whole. So now when we're coming out here, and like you said, we're trying to step into this role of making our amends, of giving back to our community because of all of the stuff that we've
not trying, doing, you doing.
Absolutely. I get you on that all the time. That's crazy. Good one. I like it. So while we're in the community and we're doing the things that we are doing for our community, for our young ones, and we're minute one. As soon as we're able to see you, we know where you're at. We know where the hurt is at. And I do get it that the schools don't want us there because
you're not perfect, but neither are they.
Right, but not even the perfect aspect. I think it's more on a security thing that we're able to reach you where we're able to reach them where you're not.
Yeah. Correct.
Where you're lacking because you don't have that.
It's kind of like an interpreter.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't have that understanding of self.
Yeah.
You are book smart. You have been reading what people
allegedly,
in theory, and what
their parents might have purchased their degrees. You never know.
For sure. So when we're looking at this thing with this normalization, where it's normalized, back to school from the tragedy that just happened, they're back at school and no one is there. None of their peers are there. None of their people are there to say, hey, are you okay?
Right.
What are you going through? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you understand transpired? And not on no authoritative to say, hey, you better tell me what's going on or you're going to be part of it too. None of that. It's actually having the wherefore to say, hey, let's put you in the forefront. Let's hear you. Let's listen to you. Right. And we're not able to do that. We're not able to do that. That's been taken away from us from what we have had to learn. Thankful from the Board of Parole hearings that found us suitable through their forensic psychologist and everything like that, right? Through those people, we should be the biggest thing vetted because rehabilitation is real, right? And if we're not able to go in there, now you're just saying that, okay, well, it's okay. Go do what you're going to do because you're going to end up where they were at anyway. And now you're away from us.
And if we let y'all in, then we interrupt the system that we want to keep going, right? Because y'all gonna come in and interrupt, right? Y'all gonna come in and install in these young Black boys what they need to hear. Y'all gonna talk to them in a way they need to talk to. But if you do that, then you're gonna stop the school to prison pipeline,
right?
And we got to keep this going,
right?
So it's all come back to, oh yeah, they don't need to come. Oh, they felons, are they this? They don't supposed to be, because y'all are somebody in the community we need. But if we put y'all there, then y'all gonna stop what they already got
the plan
already. Yeah, y'all gonna stop the plan. And we can't have that because we need these Black boys to go to jail and keep on filling up these prisons because we are California and we are prison state, and that's just how
and we need
is.
the slaves to continue being slaves.
We just let all you brothers out from doing 27 some years. Now we need to fill that thing back up, right? With y'all baby.
But I don't agree with that theory because it is. It's to me, I'm starting to see, again, Fox opinion, and I'm on my people.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see too many of us worried about Karen. I don't care about Karen. I don't care
Karen's worried about you, though.
I don't care about her walking around me behind the store. Great. Now, can you tell me what a ketchup I sent you here? I need an aid. I'm glad you're here. They keep worrying about that. They keep worrying about, the white man's not hiring. Hey, look, little bro, you got to put your pants on. Right leg, left leg, and still get a job. Karen gonna be Karen. What are we gonna do? That don't matter, and it's like a smoke screen. If we can get them to worry about the Karen, if we can get them to start wondering who really was the first race over here, and then we'll tell them that it was the Indians, and then that's who God's coming back from. And they set the internet ablaze, but now they're not talking about who gave Billy that gun.
No, I'm with you, Fox. The Black community within ourselves, we do have a lot of work we need to hold our own selves accountable for.
Absolutely.
We do.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you on that, but at the same time, we cannot sit here and say that there's not things in place that's keeping 100%. Us hindered and staggered.
Exactly
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And not letting people like you two into the schools. That's like, you know what, we finna, that's messing up our plan. Now, if we come to what the Black community need to talk to, I think that's a whole different. That's a whole.
What is the Black community? That's what I'm struggling with.
My question,
to me, is anybody who. The Black community to me is, I wanted to say anybody who identified, but then I think about the Rachel Zolak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we restructure what the Black community is?
I was just going to say that. I was like, wait a minute, let me have to think, you know what I'm saying? But as I can say is in my community, the people that I identify with, the ones that was raised like me, that came up in the same neighborhoods, that, ate the same Thanksgiving, all the different stuff that we do. There is a lot of work that we got to hold ourselves accountable for, things that we do in our community, morals. We not keeping up ways. We not raising our kids, the same way our parents. There's things we have to do. But at the same time, I think when we talking about equity in these schools, it really come back to the systems that's hindering us. You know what I'm saying? That
backed
has a lot
by the laws on the books.
That makes us still want to be like Pharaoh. I think about Egypt, and when Moses left out back in the days, it was like, but now we want to be Pharaoh. We want to be in there. We want to have that same type of stuff instead of being like, okay, we can have our own. You know what I'm saying? That comes back to Black folks always chased after what white people wanted. That's why we came to integration and all that type of stuff, because you really wanted to be those type of things. You know what I'm saying? When we come to integration, that's why integration started, because I wanted to be like
Brown versus the Board of Education.
I wanted to be like the white people.
It's funny you said it, because I always hear, I'll be hearing people say, "Oh, she got good hair," and I be saying, "What is
now you're going down a whole nother
because that's what it
is. Like, this is a silk press right here on now. You know what I'm saying? That's that Indian in my alley.
we are a good people, and we are a beautiful people. And the more that we be looking for flaws amongst each other,
well, we're going to find them.
Right. Yeah. It shows the separation, but the flaw isn't really the flaw, because if the flaw is that your hair is nappy, well, that's not a flaw at all. He was beautiful from 21 Jump Street, just like the boys.
what did the system say the standard of beauty was?
Yeah.
And when you have the system in place dictating different things, and James, I want you to jump in here soon because we're going to overtalk you because that's how we do.
Y'all talk.
But when you have a system, what folks need to understand is the system was already set up the way that it is, and it's working exactly as designed. Exactly. Okay. It is to come in and make us focus on one another, is to basically, like you said, distract us from what's really going on. That's why you have the majority of us signed on to the Democratic Party. And I know some of them going to get mad at me because I've worked for all Democrats all my life at the state capitol, all 16 years. But we never really take a step back and realize it's the same bird, different wings.
Yes.
And they're all there to uphold a system that has been comfortable with Black Americans being on the bottom so that everybody else can jump off and have something else good for themselves.
Yeah.
So we have to be clear. It's one thing to hold ourselves accountable and to talk about what the community needs to be, but we also have to acknowledge the barriers that have been put into place by the system that said, we know better than you how to do things. When you're talking about, Coco, when you said something about we always wanted what the white folks had, no, we didn't, because Tulsa, Oklahoma, Allensworth, you had
Eatonville,
all kinds of places where we took our own community and the things that we needed into our own hands, and we built them up, and they were successful. The problem was them folks outside of our community decided to get envious and jealous and decided to demolish it. So we have to be very, very clear with what we're saying, and we have to look at what it is. The thing of it is anytime things are put into place to specifically help our communities, the powers that be do not want that, and they come in and they destroy it, period.
I question that.
You can question all you want.
Can I tell you why I question?
Sure.
This is the part where that I would like to add to that. I believe in everything you say except for the system part. We have enough Black people within the system now that is starting to make me.
What system?
Huh?
What you talking about? Some of these African Americans in places?
To me, I'm seeing Black people trump Black people. I'm not seeing.
Oh no, you talking about them African Americans who think that they are better than other Black people based on where they are from and how they were raised, and the leg up they got to where they feel like they want to cut the string and not let anybody come up behind.
Back to my original question: What is our community? If we can teach our community what our community is, we can also teach our community about what to keep out of our community, so we wouldn't have to deal with.
Some people are scared to hold their community, their parents.
Singular Black community.
No,
we were talking earlier about Africans and Caribbean.
Right. So what is the community?
There is no
one solid.
So how can I expect that to represent me?
I don't understand.
You just said
represent you how?
You just said that there's African Americans inside of.
I didn't say Black people. I said African Americans, two different people.
But to the people, as a people, they don't identify them as that. They look at them as Black.
Because they have to have
separation.
African American, what that term came around, what in the 60s?
I thought it was
the 80s or something with Jesse Jackson or something like that.
82 or something like that. They keep first it was colored, then it was it was mulatto, then colored, then Negro, then African American. Like they keep trying to throw the sin off. Right?
And then you got some people that say we indigenous people that was already here, and they done, so I think that's you get into kind of get into foggy waters there of how that's why I took it back with how you identify, because I was like, wait a minute, because some people do identify African American, some people Black, whatever, me either. I used to, but now I don't. But when you talk to a Moor or somebody, they gonna say, we indigenous people that was here.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
But this is what else I'm noticing about all those Black communities. Each one come with their own set of morals. So now here it is. I believe in this, and this is the morals that I'm trying to give to a boy. But another African American man can tell them something totally different. And but to the community as a whole, looking from the outside looking in, they looking at two Black dudes.
It becomes whose voice is louder and who's more consistent. That's who's going to get that message across. And if we're not, the problem that I have, especially in the school system with certain Black folks who occupy space, is they know what's going on and they refuse to tell the truth about what's going on, and they're willing to sacrifice our kids for their own self-righteous and their own self-righteous means, or some will sit there and let things happen and won't say anything because they're worried about their retirement. They too have families to feed, and they're worried about their survival. They know they just kind of like the spook that's out by the door. They know they can't say too much because then they will become the target of the disdain, right? So they've learned to play the game. Now, is it right? Absolutely not. And some of them need to get on out the way. I believe that.
Do some people have to be put out of the way, or should we be putting them out the way? This is the conversation I was asking about when we was in the office last week. So to identify community in community, you identify your elders, you identify your men. In the community, we identify our elders as, for me, I'm 40. I identify my elders as anything older than me. Anything within the same age bracket, 45-ish and all that, you're like, you're a little older than me. But elders is 70s, 80s. But also in our communities, we say, this is our Black community. Then we say, these are the men of our community. Right? Now, again, identifying community. In some communities, they identify some of the men to be men that to us are not men.
Right.
And then you put these
I don't
men,
understand.
Huh?
I don't understand.
Break it down even further. Some of the communities in the Black communities identify as this brother being, no disrespect to any communities out there, or any, I'm not political. I don't know the politically anything for anybody community, but I'm speaking Fox's personal opinion. And Fox's personal opinion, certain communities cannot be at the head of my. I would not put you at the head of my community, nor at the head of my household. So I'm definitely not going to put you in the front ahead of my son, and I'm not going to identify you as a Black strong male for my household or my community. But people are doing so, and some people that are doing so, if you ask Fox, sometimes Black women. No offense, I believe in all of y'all, love all of y'all, but I do not enjoy when a Black woman looks to a different type of Black male for a level of strength and then identify him as stronger than I, not physically, but in the heart for the people, for your children.
You always gotta flex.
Because this is what it's always been told to us as Black men. First thing that's ever told you as a Black man was what? You got to be strong, homie.
You got to be strong.
That's what we always been told.
Yeah.
So I don't like to see somebody who done put 200 in their throat. Now you saying he's better to get this job done than me to raise a male? He'll never be a man. He's not a man because Solomon and Gomorrah says he's not. What are you talking about? How is he going to raise anything? Oh, but he knows math better than you. What does that got to do with about the moral level that being a man? Sometimes people are putting value upon what it is to build our race and our boys, and not giving the boys the education that they need to be the strength and the backbone and the education and the leaders that they need to be to help our race move forward. If you sit back and you say, oh, it's cool, he can have the IEP, it's all right, we'll cut his thing off, and we'll name him Sarah, and we'll let Joshua over here be his father. Those things get in the way of when we trying to build, when stronger Black males are trying to build stronger Black boys to be able to be stronger Black men, because I have a different moral set of what I will tell him that he should not be doing versus what that male right there will tell him what he can and can't do. And I need a Black woman sometimes to support me when I say, nah, we ain't doing that. I need a sister sometimes to stand up and say, yeah, or our community, we ain't doing that. Not because it doesn't look cute, not because it's not, because this is a spiritual battle, this is a moral battle, this is what it takes to build our community. It's going to take some discipline, it's going to take some sacrifice. Okay.
So are we talking in terms of system? Are we talking in terms of within the community?
Okay, to me, I'm going to answer it. To me, the person that is inside of the system, the Black males that are in the system are these males, and they've been put there and they've been put there and promoted say it again.
It's all strategic.
For sure. Right. It's strategic. For sure. It's strategically put there, and now they're there. And now we see it, and now there's there is an actual recourse. There is brothers coming home. There is other people that we can actually put there. Are we going to promote the stronger males to get in there to stronger positions, or are you going to continue to allow these type of males? But again, I don't know how it happens. I don't know the solution. I don't know how to make it happen. I just know it's systematic. And I'm like, how do we?
Well, I think we have to go back to what happened to get the Black men out of the home in the first place.
Right. I agree with that.
So, I mean, I think that a lot of times we spend times talking about things kind of at 100-foot level, but we never put the onus on where the break came in the first place. Right. And what happened in those homes that led some of those, I'm assuming, males that you're talking about to be in rooms or homes with female leads.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so we have to talk and acknowledge about that. And I think we're getting way off. We done went to another planet real quick.
Part 5.
And we're gonna have to reel it back, because also I'm looking at the chat while I'm hearing everybody talk, and we're talking, you know, somebody said, can we invest in real time and energy into creating something anew outside of an oppressive system? And what I would say to that, what I would posit to that is, I don't know that we've done any work within our community to learn infrastructure and what it would take to actually get beyond this idealistic approach of to do something and to actually put that into action.
Yeah.
I think that we've had communities pop up and do things themselves, and they were destroyed systemically.
Yeah.
So we have to be very clear on, are we saying, yes, we want our own thing? And if we're saying we want our own thing, who has the wherewithal to now put in the infrastructure that would get us to where we need to be to actually produce our own thing that it is that we're talking about? Because if we think that we're going to separate from this particular system, because even in the Bible it says, what is Caesar's give to Caesar, right? What is God's give to God? If we have not done the groundwork to be prepared to do those things that we're talking about, it's cool to talk about homeschooling. I loved homeschooling.
We're not ready.
But we haven't done the work to put in the infrastructure to support,
because you got to think
going
about
off the grid.
We got to grow our own food. We got to run our own hospitals. We got to bring our own finances.
We got to educate our own babies.
We're not ready. We so dependent upon the system. Like you said, I don't think we have the infrastructure.
What happened to the Freedmen's Bank? Anybody know? Anybody know?
Yeah.
What happened to the Freedmen's Bank? The bank that they had all the slaves put their money in. What happened to it?
What happened to it?
It got robbed or burned down. Which one?
One or the other. It got robbed.
They gambled that money.
And even
them
like,
people
is our babies going to go out there and work the fields and do the food? Do we know how to tilt the ground?
We don't have.
We can't get them
we
out
gotta
there to
get
pick
back
up
to the
dogs.
basics.
Yeah, we don't know how to do all these different things. What's the rapper guy who had the Grammys, got arrested? I always forget his name.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike was talking about this. We not necessarily ready to do those things
or defend ourselves.
And that's what I mean when I say, can we redefine the community?
We gonna give y'all Utah. Y'all can have it, whatever state, you know, whatever.
We're gonna freeze to death.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't have the infrastructure to survive it yet. You know what I'm saying? So
I think we have the knowledge.
We have to start. The knowledge is there, but knowledge and infrastructure is two different things.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, knowledge and infrastructure is two different things.
I only said it just to give us credit as a people to say we are sharp. We have knowledge. We're not done.
There's a few people that's out here tilting land and stuff.
It's a few, not on a large
grand scale.
And it says to divest from the system. Okay.
Yeah.
And so once we divest from the system, where's that
infrastructure for our investment?
Where's the monies? What are things going to come from? Yeah. Are we in a position to hire other people within our community to do the things that need to be done so that we can survive once we divest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
mean, and that's not to argue with a new homeschool 7362. I'm just like, let's be real.
Those are things we have to think about.
Yeah.
That really have to be in place.
And
if we want to do
we have to
things.
develop infrastructure and implement it,
and that means not letting some of these people up in there to poke holes in your boat while you're rowing.
I got a question too, based off what she said.
Hold on,
let people actually do want that though.
Go ahead, say what you got. You got something?
What was
to
your
say something.
I wonder how many people actually do you like America? I mean, no, for real. No. We are not going to do that today. I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean
no
is,
matter if you like it or not, you're an American.
I hear. You
take your butt to another country, they're gonna say you're American.
No, it's not that. I hear black people complaining about stuff, and just like every day I go feed the homeless, I hear people say that's messed up, and then I hear them say, man, that's good, you're doing that. I say, man, I want to help you out with that, and then I get 20 people say, we're gonna help you, man. We're gonna donate a couple cans. But really, only 2 people really know they can. So I wonder how many people actually really have a problem with it, because I keep seeing we being trumped by our
sometimes your heart and what you actually can do is 2 different places. You feel me? Sometimes your heart is there.
Fox aggressive. Fox be hitting them back with that. You got that? You ready? You have it? You was playing.
They not already ready to go out and
like how you showed up today. Like even though no shade, even though you was a little bit 2 minutes late.
Yeah, I'm on CP time.
You didn't just say,
that traffic, that Sacramento traffic. Everybody went back to work today trying to get their
but you still showed up.
holiday hours.
It was in your heart to do so. You didn't hit me with a text message from the bear.
But I'm in the same line of work in the field as you. You feel me? So my action and my follow through for my people is gonna be different. Versus I know some people might have the heart like, Coco, I wish I can be like you, but they follow through is not all the way there. You got visionaries and you got execution, people who execute.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So people will have vision all day, but if you ain't got them executors there, you just another person that got vision.
To him. Who says
that's why me and Patrice work so good. Like good vision. I'm like, pass it to me. We finna, you know what I'm saying? You got the quarterback, you got the running back. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the team is so important. And people be with the I. No, the team, because you got to have the visionary, you got to have the executor, you got to have the creative person and all these different things. So sometimes, Fox, the people see what you're doing and their heart might be there with you. Like, I want to do that. But it may be something that's holding them back from getting all the way through to the execution.
I wish they would tell me before I send them $100.
They don't even know.
Well, James is over in the corner. We done put baby in the corner.
Yeah, if you got something to say something.
This is a lot of brilliance going on. To your point of like, we're behind the pendulum when it comes to our community physically.
Absolutely.
And that's just on a physical standpoint.
Because we're in survival mode all the time.
Yeah, right. We haven't came out of it.
But there's also, that's just a physical community. What about the digital community? What about the digital space? We're behind on that too.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's going to be infrastructure in place against the Black community on the digital landscape that we're far behind. So what about redefining what that looks like on the digital scale? Like that's
a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
And the algorithm is already being trained. And I don't know if y'all saw the article about Google and them. If you have a Gmail or a Google Mail account, that they've enacted Gemini AI to go through all your emails and start building a profile about you.
Right.
There's a way to cut it off. And I clipped it,
and that's on my Google, that's on my Gmail. Yeah, it got to go on.
Right.
That's important because
but if we're not reading it, right,
if
and
we're not these things,
we're not paying attention to the things. Again, I believe a lot of things that are happening around us are happening because they want to keep us distracted so they can do things like this. And so how do we, again, make sure we're prepared for what's coming through? I know this conversation, that's part of equity. Making sure that everybody is prepared to be successful, right?
Yes.
How do we do that? Knowing all the different things that are happening simultaneously all around us, while keeping in mind the pain, the trauma, the continued violence within our communities, the fact that we've some of us done checked out as parents.
Yeah.
And we're allowing our children to run amok.
Yeah.
And they're on these school campuses and they cutting it, they showing their behinds. And then sometimes the only people that can get them back in check are people that look like them, but you won't allow that to happen.
Yeah.
That's inequitable because you're not giving them what they need. Our children have always been raised with boundaries.
Yes, they are.
For the most part. Some of them was hard-headed, but they knew what was expected of them.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not sure our children know what is expected of them.
Yeah, because the parents aren't telling them.
Everybody trying to kick it with their friends, trying to be the next hot girl. I see so many women trying to compete with their teenage daughters. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
There's no standards. And I saw your post you put up on talking about Black community. Yo.
Yeah, I talk about it in my book, The Makings of a Project Queen, just about.
I hope y'all went and cop that book.
The things you have to change as a mother and a father. You know what I'm saying? To help your kids. And a lot of people don't want to get there. I grew up in Mac Dre, Thiz Dance era. popping ecstasy strong. Hey, it is what it is. But I knew when I had my son, I had to change. I had to do some different type of things because I was raising a black man. And I wanted him to see something different. Now, if I let it continue to go down in my household, then I held no morals or no standards, or say, all right, I can't go out this Friday and stuff like that, that would have impacted him more. And some parents ain't ready to do that. Even at my Thanksgiving, I was on the kids. I'm on them, old school. One girl said, you know how these new kids is? I said, what? What you mean you know how these No. Your mind shouldn't even be like that as a parent. You know what I'm saying? But that's where we is. Oh, you know how these new kids, just let them do what they want to do.
No, absolutely
All
not.
the just letting them do what they want to do, gentle parenting. No, you got to change yourself and change your life before we can get to these babies. We not installing respect in them. We not installing morals in them. Like you said, they cussing out teachers, grandmas, whatever.
Yeah.
On top of the music, so shit. Oh, my bad.
I'm like, I didn't have to tell you about y'all's language today.
My bad.
They came back from the holiday.
So listen, though, we out of time.
I might say it in the classroom.
We out of time again. How does this keep happening? Wow. So y'all coming back, right?
Yeah.
Part 3.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was late.
BBSN got to start. If y'all out there watching, y'all better get our kid up here.
So if you have boys between the ages of 8 and 18, Mondays and Wednesdays right here at 9300 West Stockton Boulevard, our Black Boys Support Network pops off.
Get your sons up here.
We have some great mentors waiting for them. And what are the expectations we have for ourselves? That's a great question. A new homeschool. Y'all want to take that comment, Melissa? You wanna answer the question?
Expectations we have for ourselves. I
The
think
use of our reflections, but we won't take the risk. Why are we still sending our youth to their schools? I agree with you. I pulled my stepdaughter out at the time. I pulled her out of school, and we homeschooled. Melissa's mom pulled her out and she homeschooled. Melissa's sister is currently homeschooling. But everybody does not have the patience nor the plan in place to pull their kids out of the system.
The knowledge and the wisdom. Some parents are illiterate. Some parents are going through these different type of things. And how can I teach my baby to read when nobody never taught me? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to do this at home or have homeschool when I too myself may be illiterate or may be battling with these different type of things. So like you said, everybody don't have the means to just do homeschool or to pull their babies out of school.
And we did it at the height of COVID. So I mean, it was different. Everybody was online anyway. Melissa, I know I said your name and then I started talking.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. And then you have people who are in single parent households who have to work 2 and 3 jobs to just keep a roof over their heads. Not everybody can homeschool. I was extremely fortunate to have a mom who, even though she was a single parent, decided she was going to figure it out and homeschool me and my sister anyways. And it definitely changed the trajectory of my life, but not everyone can do that. And we have to overcompensate in other areas of our lives to be able to help balance that part out. But it's not everybody's situation.
Yeah. And I homeschool is just one alternative to the education system. I agree.
I agree too.
We do have the answers, but sometimes we're so fractured. And what we're saying is we're not downplaying what you're saying, a new homeschool. What I'm saying is there are other impediments in place that would stop people from believing in any other alternatives because we survive in survival mode most of the time. And that's no judgment on a family out here, but I spend time on their school campuses. And I can tell you, because I was there today, there is a disconnect with our young people. Coco is absolutely right. The disrespect that I'm seeing, ain't nobody else gonna put up with that because their own parents don't want to put up with it. So they send them to school to get a break from them. I'll be honest with you. That's what I'm seeing. And then they go to school and they show their behinds and they put them out of the classrooms. Why? Because they will not comport themselves as kids who seem to want to learn.
Right.
And then too, there's laws that say you have to send your kids to school.
They've learned how to criminalize.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And everybody's not filing that private school affidavit, registering their home as a private school.
Yeah.
Some people don't know anything about it.
Yeah. That's
they
all
don't know
equity
how to,
too, right?
It's
That's
crazy.
all inequitable too. People don't know that. People don't know how to do that, where to start. There's not too many alternative schools, and the ones we do have, they're not getting funding, or they might not have the different things that you need. So it comes back to that infrastructure that we was talking about. To be able to do some of the things, we got to start thinking about the infrastructure to be able to do some of these things.
And I just want to acknowledge Miss Tawana's comment. She was a gentle parent and never had disrespectful kids because she was intentional with love, boundaries, and respect for her household, and demanded more from herself first and then her children. Amen. And I think that that's what parenting is about.
Yeah.
Because you held them to boundaries.
So even with the gentle parenting, the boundaries, the morals.
I think when you talking about gentle parenting, you were talking about the hands-off parents.
Yeah, the hands-off parents are, they don't want to deal with it, so I just let my kid go. I don't want to deal with it, or I don't want to see it, because if I see it, then I got to deal with it. That's what I was meaning by the gentle parenting. But if you still have some type of morals, boundaries, respect in that household, then you setting your kids up to have morals and respect to other people's. But some people don't.
Yeah, and like Melissa is
competing
proof
with their
of
daughters.
Miss Tawana's fruits, right?
Yeah.
Miss Tawana was intentional, and she got a baby at Berkeley.
Period.
And that's just what it is, and we're proud of that.
Yes.
But we also know that we have a lot to get done.
Yes.
And we have to be honest with the state of our community. We have to be honest with, we don't have the infrastructure in place. We may have ideals, but it's going to take implementation. And so we're going to, again, have to continue this conversation, because I don't know where the time be going. Everybody get to hollering at each other across the table, and we run out of time. I gotta get Melissa. James had two sentences, maybe.
James got something there, a little bit of something.
But I just want to tell y'all, like, this is what it's going to take. It's going to take some open and honest dialogue. It's going to take those folks in the community and in the chat to actually help inform some of these conversations. We don't have all the answers. We just some people who run nonprofits out here trying to do the work on behalf of our kids.
In a system, passion for community.
In a system that has designed it for them to fail.
But it's gonna take everybody in the community.
Absolutely.
Because for one, just to be Black comes with all different type of things. You know, we're not all one just because we're Black.
And
look
how many,
we all have
how many different topics have come up. Just
girl, all we were supposed to be talking about was equity on mute.
Equity on mute.
We went from equity to all
prison pipeline, the prison industrial complex.
But it all plays a role, right? It all plays a role.
It all
and
plays
it all is part of equity.
All these things are things that they have put in place to mess us up as a people, as a community. So it's hard to tackle. You be like, all right, I'm trying to tackle this, but it's like a car. You know how when you fix the transmission, but the engine still need, you know, every time you try
tire light is on.
Every time you try to fix something, you like, it's like, that's what we dealing with. Like, I can tackle this, but then this got to get tackled to make this happen, you know. So
and we're gonna keep plugging away. We won't call the conversation Equity on Mute Part 3. We're gonna find a different thing. But all that in the kitchen sink, we're gonna just throw it all in there. But we're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign. We'll see y'all next week right here, 4:30 PST, Facebook, YouTube. I think we on LinkedIn too now. Child, I'd learn how to do that. So we will be back next weekend. We'll see, girl.
We gotta build it. We gotta build it. And we ain't got infrastructure. We ain't gonna have nothing.
Yeah. So we'll check y'all out here next week. Peace out.
Peace.